All right, boy. Tough win tonight, but man, a win nonetheless. First thing I want to say is how appreciative I am to our home crowd. I mean, that was an electric atmosphere. You know, there was some built-up frustration, I think, from 3 early kicks in a row. So the crowd was great. They definitely had an impact on the game. You know, I thought our team fed off the crowd. Thought the crowd fed off the team. You know, especially there at the end. That might be as loud as I've heard it here. So very, very much appreciated. Great home crowd. Yeah, it was a tough game, you know, like we knew it would be. You know, I think the negative you'll look back and say is we had some opportunities to really separate in the game that we didn't do it. You know, the drive before half, a couple of 3rd and longs and 4th and longs that they were able to convert offensively. You know, we got the ball back up 7 right after the 3rd quarter and then threw an interception on the 2nd play. We didn't get a 4th and 1. Obviously, we didn't make the field goal there at the end of regulation. So, I mean, we had our chances to separate. It wasn't our best performance. And give Army a ton of credit, man. Those guys played hard. They executed. I mean, as well as they played ran the option, they didn't put the ball on the ground one time the entire day, which is hard to do with all they're doing. So give those guys credit. You know, they're really well coached. That was a hell of a football game. But give our guys a lot of credit too. You know, especially with the way regulation ended, a lot of teams, you know, would have been down a little bit, and we weren't. Our guys have really taken a lot of pride in red zone and overtime situations. We got the team up right there before overtime, reminded them why we had done all that work and that it was getting ready to pay off, and it did. You had 3 sides of the ball, offensively scoring, Seibert knocking the extra point through, and then defensively, you know, shutting them down there on that last drive. They were absolutely tremendous there. So proud of the win, proud of some of the, you know, there were some great individual efforts. I mean, I think Kenneth Murray had 28 tackles, a school record here, which they've been playing football a long time here, been playing against option teams for a long time, a lot of history of that. So to have 28 tackles in a game, and then Curtis Bolton, I believe, had 23, which is, I mean, remarkable. That may be the highest 2-person total ever. The other record would be 47 play differential. We had 40. We had a lot of big plays offensively and then had some short drives. Obviously, they had 87. So it was kind of a strange game. They had 21 third downs. We had 3 offensively. You know, it was a weird game. And but our guys found a way to win. Our crowd helped push us onto that. Really happy to get, you know, through the non-conference again at 3-0. That was a big goal for us. We did that, and looking forward to getting a Big 12 play.
You know, Lincoln, coming into the game, when everybody talks about what you had to do to win, you know, time of possession and everything, that went against you, yet your team was resilient enough to win. What does that say about your team?
Yeah, they were really resilient. You know, they just kept fighting. You know, even again when we didn't have our best stuff and a few things didn't go our way, a few plays that we didn't make that we normally make in our sleep. And but I just think our guys weren't going to be denied. So they continue to play hard, and we're learning. You know, we're kind of about like we thought we'd be at this point. We're winning football games. Our youth still shows at times. Our experience does. That's got to continue to grow and get better. You know, we're going to face a lot of new challenges going forward, but there's a fight about this team, and I feel like we're close to being ready to start to really separate from some of these good teams, and we're going to have to do that as we get into Big 12 play.
Was it difficult, Lincoln? You got one of the most prolific and dynamic offenses in the country. Was it difficult for those guys to sit over there and watch 3rd down after 3rd down, 4th down after 4th down, the defense giving up?
It was a challenge. We knew that you know, that was going to, you know, eventually happen. We knew it was going to be that way at some point. And, you know, look, their success rate as good as what they do is converting 3rd and 4th and shorts. I mean, they don't get stopped by anybody there. They're tough on them. The biggest negative maybe more was some of the long yardage, you know, 3rd downs or 4th downs that we didn't convert defensively. But we knew there was going to be some frustrations on both sides, and the pace of the game is so different than what these guys are used to. I mean, we talked about it, and I really think our kids that bought into that. There's a couple times we lost our poise a little bit. You know, we had the personal foul down there defensively and then busted an assignment right after that. You know, Kyler had the one throw, you know, that other than that, he played extremely clean throughout the day, but had the one throw that I thought was a little bit of just pressing and eager to go make a play. But our guys hung in there. They trusted that it was going to be a challenge, and we knew if we didn't, you know, look, we know if there's a couple plays in that game that you don't make, it's going to be a close game against them. I mean, that's just the way it is. And those couple plays that we had a chance to separate, we didn't do it, but they fought and hung in there.
Can you talk a little bit about the end of regulation and just what you thought when Austin missed his field goal?
I mean, I'm surprised he missed it, but I mean, he'll make the next one. You know, I had full confidence. Obviously centering the ball there, trying to get it to a spot that he wanted, had full confidence in him. You know, McGinnis, our entire team, our offensive line protecting. I mean, I had full confidence that he was going to make it. If I get the same situation again, I'll probably do exactly the same thing.
Lincoln, when Army would drain 9-10 minutes off the clock and then you guys would score fast, did you ever think about slowing down just to give your defense a break?
No, not really. I really felt like we needed to extend the game, you know, and do anything that we could. And then it was important. I think you can get too caught up in playing the clock game. The most important thing offensively against him is to score, you know, and I think that's the main thing. You've got to score. And then we felt like the more we extended the game, that was going to play into our hands. So we just really tried to do the things that we thought would help us score. At times we went fast. At times we didn't go fast. You know, we milked plenty of clock on that last drive in regulation. So, no, that didn't really play into our decision making.
Lincoln, it seemed like defensively when you guys were able to force the issue, like there at the end, those were the times that you were able to get them either in bad situations or turn the ball over. But with their offense, I assume that's hard to do all the time. How did you feel like your defense balanced that out?
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job. You know, there was a few. If you went back and looked at all the third and fourth downs, you'd love to have a couple more that are, you know, long and medium as opposed to third and short, because they're just so prolific there. And the second, on one of those short yardages that you overtake a chance, they feast on that. That's when they hit the big play on you. And so I thought we did a really nice job, you know, controlling their pass game. That was something that, you know, they came in, was a really big deal for them. This guy had been throwing the ball well. So our DBs, I thought, were really disciplined the majority of the night. And, yeah, once we got settled in, we gave up a few here and there, but I thought our guys battled and did some really good stuff against them, especially, you know, late in the first half and then the second half, especially at the end of the game.
Tackling, how'd you feel like that?
Tackling's pretty good. We had one on the sideline that really sticks out that I believe was like a 3rd and 10, maybe 3rd and 8. That was obviously a glaring one where we had 2 or 3 guys come in there with the shoulder. But I mean, other than that, we overran it a little bit too much. Our backers were getting out, overrunning them a little bit. But I thought our tackling was improved. I thought some of the things we did practice-wise helped us, and we'll have to continue to get better there.
After a game like this, is there any concern your defense is just kind of beat up right now after a game like that?
No. I mean, that's college ball. I mean, 87 plays is not all that different, you know, than a Big 12 game, other than, you know, it is a little bit different style. But, you know, we're going to be built to last. That's part of it. We knew this was going to be a physical, heavy hitter. And so, you know, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. I think they'll be ready to play and excited to go at Baylor next week.
Couldn't get the ball to Marquise tonight. How difficult?
What's that?
Couldn't get the ball to Marquise tonight. How difficult is that for the offense to not get the ball to the best playmaker?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you know, we had some things for him that just didn't hit for whatever reason. I mean, when you snap the ball 40 plays, including an overtime, not many people are getting the ball, period. So, I mean, you know, it's just going to be a night where a couple guys were going to get some opportunities, and that's going to be it. I mean, that's normally a half for us.
You got Trey going, a little Trey Sermon. How much did that help you tonight? You got him going?
Yeah, no, it was big. You know, he had 119 yards rushing, didn't lose any yards. I thought he got better as the game went on, started feeling it, you know, and that's kind of been his MO. And so I think he's getting more comfortable as we go on, but ran through contact. A couple of those there I thought on the drive that we didn't get it in on 4th down. A couple I thought maybe he had a chance to get in the end zone on, but he ran hard, ran physical, took care of the ball, played winning football for us.
What happened right there?
What's that?
What happened on the goal line right there?
Bad call by me, and then we didn't get enough push.
Did a game like today solidify him as kind of the go-to guy for you guys?
No, I mean he's been our number one. You know, I said that on Monday. He's been our number one, so nothing changed. He did a nice job.
How about the success on 1st down? Seems like they had a lot of success getting 4 or 5 yards, getting short yardage the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of playing those guys. You know, that's a little bit part of it. Of course, we're going to go back and look at it and say there's some things we need to do better. I wasn't as much concerned with that as just, like I said, the one major disappointment defensively was getting them in so many long yardage situations, and we gave up a few of those that you don't expect to give up against them. And so, you know, and that was really the difference. But, you know, those key downs there at the end of the game, you know, we were able to stop them, put them in some long yardage situations, and then turn our guys loose.
When you have a week like this, I assume everyone knew that Kenneth was going to have a game like this. Maybe not 28 tackles, but he was going to have to be one of your leading tacklers. What's that like, coaching a guy up and maybe even Curtis during the week when you know so much of the game plan is on them?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a team effort. The defensive linemen got to understand, against a team like this, you're not going to have, a bunch of quarterback hurries and a bunch of tackles. You got to sacrifice yourself. And so, that was the first thing in the locker room when we gave those two guys a game ball that they pointed out, was, to make tackles against them and to play good defense against them, it takes all 11. So, we had good coverage on the back end, where the throw game was fairly non-existent. The defensive linemen really battled in there and freed those guys up, and that was the game plan. That's what you got to do.
Lincoln, just overall success in overtime after the 5-yard penalty that still came and executed. Just your thoughts on the offense and OT?
Yeah, no, we did a good job. Thought we got the first one in. I think maybe our only offensive penalty of the whole game was right there the first play. Not how you want to start it, but I think we were confident. I think we felt confident the entire night in what we had dialed up. We made a lot of plays, had a few that we expect to make that we didn't, but had good perseverance, hung in there, and really proud of the way our guys handled it, really proud of the way that Kyler handled it.
What was the message for the defense at halftime? Two long drives, and they were kind of demoralizing in nature.
We kind of felt like after the first drive, honestly, that we'd settled in a little bit. We got them to, I believe, a 4th and 8 maybe on the second touchdown drive. And we'd started to, I'm not say shut them down, but we had started to close things down a little bit. And I think get a feel for the speed and just how they run it. And so I think we felt good, and we knew coming out of halftime we had a chance. If we could get the stop, which we did, and then get the offense back to ball and offensive score, we'll have a chance to separate and maybe get ready to put the game away. And defense gave us that opportunity. So I think we felt comfortable with where we were at.
Did you notice a difference in the fatigue level with your defense as opposed to this game where it's just a different style than maybe where somebody's throwing the ball all over you and they're out on the field for long periods of time?
Yeah, this game's a little different. It's not as much long running, so it's 87 plays against them. It's physical. I mean, no doubt about that, but it's not, we go back and look at their GPS numbers. It's not going to be the same amount of running if you play 87 plays against Texas Tech. It's a little bit different deal. So I thought our conditioning again held up, and I think you see, playing your best ball at the end like we did shows that.
Did you notice any toll? Did it take any kind of toll on you guys playing that kind of a game though, with more physicality, where there's just more hits, or noticeable at all?
A little hard to say right now. I mean, I think we'll respond well. That's part of playing ball at Oklahoma. There's going to be physical games. You got to be able to bounce back and be ready to play the next one.
Mark Jackson, 15 tackles. Yeah. I think Ryan Jones part ahead. How do you think him and Ryan Jones kind of set the edge?
Yeah, they settled in. They had to string out some of those options a little bit. I thought they did a pretty good job with it. They both had a chance to make a few more plays. Mark had a chance to get a safety there coming out of the end zone. Ryan had a few more he was really close to, but they made some plays too. So for two young guys, both guys hadn't played a lot, period, and to see how well they played against that, I think they're progressing. We're definitely getting better on the edge.
Lincoln, when you have the drive toward the end of the game and Kenneth Mann picks the ball out of the air, I think that Dylan maybe popped up. Was that just, did you sense like your team just felt like that was their game from that point on?
Yeah, I mean, I think we felt like it was our game the whole night. I mean, that was, you're kind of waiting for us to make a play. We felt like we were on the verge of it so much and didn't. So I don't know that moment all of a sudden we felt like it. I think the team felt like they were going to get a stop and we were going to go score no matter what. But that was obviously an electric play, and the stadium was, it was great the whole night. But, man, there towards the end, that was good stuff.
Two more. You got the tight ends going?
What's that?
You guys are more solidified on the offensive line at all because you have Creed as the guy at center. Does that help you?
It's maybe fair to say. There's probably some benefits of it. I think they're both good enough that I think it would affect other people more if both of them weren't really good. They're both really good players, and we just got to the point where we felt like we needed to narrow it down. So I thought that group played good tonight. We turned one loose there on the third down right before half, and it was late, a late blitzer, but I thought that group played well.
You got the tight ends going in the passing game early. Grant, big catch, and then Carson with his first touchdown.
Yeah, Carson, first touchdown, was awesome. Our team was really excited about that and all he's done. Grant was definitely more involved tonight, did some really nice things. So those guys are weapons for us. They did a good job.
Last one to carry.
Lincoln, now that this game is behind you, was this kind of something you knew tonight kind of could go like it would, and it was just something you kind of needed to get past? Offensive snaps, I mean, like you said.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, playing these guys, there's a chance for that. Now, you know, if we, you know, don't turn one over and convert a third down, and we don't give up, too many long yardage conversions, then it's not going to be 40 to 87 as far as the number of snaps. So, but you knew that was their game plan, and you knew that if you stalled out a few times, or if you didn't, stop a couple of conversions on their part, there was going to be a close game. So our kids were prepared for it. They were mentally ready for it, and that's why they hung in there and won the game.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks.
Lincoln.